everybody. Hello. This tank top's fucking uncomfortable. That's not how I talk. This is how I talk. Posture. Posture check. Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to This Should Be Interesting, starring me, Matt Rice. This is a comedy podcast where I do characters in interviews, and I play all the characters, and I play the interviewer. Obviously, today's episode is different, and moving forward, some of the other episodes will be different. There will be, it's just a random comedy podcast. That just happens sometimes. The audio-only ones are obviously characters, because I would look like a psychopath if I was recording this with on film, talking to myself. Maybe that's what you guys want. I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out once we have a bigger audience. Anyways, what a great start. I'm killing this. Hell yeah. So this should be interesting. Today I'm doing a behind the scenes, if you will. I'm just going to tell my story. Not like you guys asked. I don't know. I mean, people ask me questions. This will answer everything. The allegations are true. I'm on the list. I'm trying to think of what list I'm on. It's not the Epstein list. I don't know. Silly man-child. All right. Moving forward. This is going great. Just in my chair. Looked like there was more light back there than there was. All right. Well, my name's Matt, and this is a lot of fun. Let's see. I was adopted and from birth. I was born in Anaheim, California, and then I moved, grew up in Oklahoma for a little bit, and then I moved to Texas, and that's the place that I call home. That's where I graduated from high school and spent more of my formative years. I wasn't the biggest fan of high school or school, and I'll be drinking periodically. It's not alcohol or anything. Another important note is that I do all these podcasts in one take, no editing. So we're sticking to that. So you're going to watch me drink. Now for the rest of the episode, I'm just going to be drinking. Not. Oh, that was a great joke. This episode's not going to be super funny. It's just more informative. Some of it'll get funny. So I started doing stand-up in like 2022. But I started doing that's whenever I started doing it like more like professionally. I started doing like comedy and like just joking around at bars and whatever in like 2017. But I always wanted to do sketch comedy because of like Whitest Kids You Know and Dave Chappelle's show. And I grew up. Maybe I need to look at the camera to be more sincere instead of looking down. Yeah, let's do that. None of this is a lie. I don't know. I'm just thinking because I'm doing it all. Maybe I should have made notes. I don't. Like I said, everything else is off the dome, so this will be too. And now I'm going to stop bringing that up. I'm doing such a good job. I'm patting myself on the back right now, metaphorically, with my spirit self. I'm actually massaging my shoulders. Astral projection of myself is massaging. Yes, you heard that right, and so did I. Okay. I wanted to do comedy because of, and I don't know, like Adam Sandler, Jim Carrey, growing up watching those movies. And then I got more into stand-up. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll just keep doing that. I got into stand-up and writing jokes, and I realized that I don't know. I was in the military for 10 years, so I got sick of traveling, so I don't want to be like a traveling stand-up comedian, so I got into this online stuff, and live streaming really took my fancy, and I wanted to make sketches. But I didn't necessarily have the means to start doing those yet. So I'm doing the best with what I can with what I got, and I don't have a lot. So live streaming, making silly videos right now, that's the best I can do, and that's what I'm going to keep doing, and hopefully that takes off, and then I'll have more opportunities and blah, blah, blah. But for now, we're doing the best we can with what we got, and I always tell people to do that and be kind to everybody. So I guess my comedic influences, Dave Chappelle's probably the first person that I really got into stand-up for. Whenever I was a young kid, I've always loved funny things, and I always loved funny movies, but after I started watching stand-up specials on Comedy Central, I thought I was such a little smart little sneaky boy turning on Comedy Central because it was like forbidden, because I grew up in a very hardcore Christian household at first. My mom started like growing more relaxed about certain things like mature content or whatever later on in life, but whenever I was younger, we literally weren't allowed to watch Dragon Ball Z because she thought it was evil. We weren't allowed to trick or treat because it was of the devil. It was kind of like Bobby Boucher's mom from Waterboy, pretty similar actually. So we weren't allowed to partake in a lot of things, and so me and my brother when Adult Swim came out, we would stay up, and like it was still on Cartoon Network, so my parents didn't really understand what that was. They still thought it was Cartoon Network, so we kind of got away with watching like Futurama, and like that's how we got like inducted into anime as well. Like Bleach and Full Metal Alchemist were some of our first ones. Also, Saturday morning cartoons. One Piece was on in like 1998. We watched that from like the get-go. So I've been watching One Piece since it came out. Obviously, I didn't keep up with it forever, but I am caught up on. I almost said unfortunately because there's like 1,200 episodes or some shit, and that's kind of embarrassing to admit. But I'm not really embarrassed because it's like one of the best stories ever told. It's just a lot of filler. Anytime I see the little characters pop up and they're like, we're going to explain what's going on, I skip that episode because I already know it's just a fucking bullshit recap episode. That's just a life hack for anybody of you trying to watch anime. At least the ones that do that silly, like, chibi character cartoon re-explanation. This video is definitely going to give you guys a look into, like, how I think because I'm going to be all over the place, and that's how my comedy is anyways. Okay. It's like somebody has to like put me on a leash or hold my hand. And the more I start talking, the more I'll start flowing and getting into a flow state, and it'll be easier and easier, and there'll be way less pauses. I withheld what I would have done on live stream, which was a really loud burp. I think for YouTube format, that's not appropriate. Tee-hee. Okay. My shirt. It's awesome. SpongeBob and Patrick. It's a nice tank top. It's starting to feel small, though, even though it's a large. I've been working out. Yeah, I'm getting fat. Yeah, I've been working out. I'm getting fat. I'm making mad fat gains. I'm fat maxing. Weight maxing. Fucking look at the scales. Whoever has the biggest number wins the weight maxing. I'll mog actually, right now, I'm kidding. I weigh like 170. I would lose that. I would lose. This is going very well. Very well. Okay, so stand-up influences. Dave Chappelle. So we would watch Comedy Central. Started watching all those 30-minute specials. That's how I think Big J. Okerson was one of the first people that I got like kind of introduced to. So I've always liked him. I'm foreshadowing. That'll be important in the future. And there was a bunch of other people that I couldn't really remember the names. And then you have several people. I mean, I remember from that era, who was I? That was like when Amy Poehler was starting to take off. Not Amy Poehler, Amy Schumer. Sheesh, that is a terrible connection. I apologize to Amy Poehler for that one. She's an SNL legend, and then the other one's just a joke-stealing hack. I literally don't know how she has a platform at all anymore. At least from what I see, everybody I don't hear anybody talk positively about her. It just doesn't make sense how people like that have a platform. Anyways, I'm canceled before I'm a person. Nice. Moving on. Anyways, that led me to finding the Dave Chappelle Show. That was like one of the first sketch comedy shows me and my brother found, and we would watch that. We loved it. really got us into sketches. So then naturally we started looking for more sketch comedy, and that's when we found Whitest Kids You Know, which I would say is probably my favorite sketch show to this day. But then more and more and more, let's say like Kids in the Hall, uh, Hugh and Laurie, is that what it was called? That's a British one with the guy from House, and then you know. And then I started branching off with more sketches and just silly stuff like Smosh, or I don't know. I started making my own shitty YouTube videos back in the day on another channel with my buddy. His name's Dustin. Good guy. Hope he's doing well. Yeah, and then I joined the military for 10 years, and I was in the Navy. I was a combat engineer, and then I moved on to other things in the Navy. I can't tell you what I did, but it was pretty. It was top secret. I'll say that. I was about to say it was cool. I mean, it was okay. It was probably cooler than what a lot of other people do normally. It's a heart. That's for you. Um, yeah, I lost some friends while I was in the military, and then I lost some friends to suicide, and that still happens. So I'm a big. I also came out of the military with PTSD, depression, a few other disabilities. So I'm a big. I spent about 2 years after the military, kind of trying to stream and wallowing in self pity and drinking a lot and just not taking care of myself, and then I finally got out of that and started working out and started being more productive, and now we're here today. That was all I truly think important in my life. I needed those years. They're formative for me. I think I'm a different man now. I wish that I could go back and right every wrong that I ever did, but I can't. But I want to be able to make it up to everybody that I've ever wronged, and I don't want to leave anybody with like a bad taste in their mouth of my name or anything, or like if somebody thinks of me or looks at me, just I know that that's something I can't ever fully change, but it's not that I care about people's perception of me, because if I do everything right and you still hate me, that's kind of on you. But if I have wronged somebody, I do want to try and make that right. That's it. I'm not dwelling in the past, because you can't change the past. You move forward and we learn from our mistakes and you grow as a person. You have to. It allowed me to look in the mirror and realize that I am messing up, that I am doing things wrong, and that I do need to change, and that we never stop learning and growing, because I think that humans can learn and grow and never stop, and we can change, because if we can't change, I truly think we have nothing at all. If humans can't change, we have nothing. And so I think anybody can change. It doesn't matter how evil the person is. I think that people can learn. I will say evilness, you have to want to change. Like if you're truly evil, you're probably not going to want to change. So you're probably not going to. So that's like the first issue there. I feel like I'm slouching, and I think I am, but like this chair is really awkward. So I'll do my best to look cool while doing this. I mean, this isn't about looking cool. It's just about me being my honest and true self with you guys. That's my whole thing. Just openness, and the reason that I do comedy is because I truly love laughing. Robin Williams is one of my biggest influences. I'll just say the reason, yeah, he's somebody that I look up to and I quote a lot. He has that quote, I don't know how much value I have in this universe, but I do know that I've made a few people happier than they would have been without me, and as long as I have that, that's all the money I'll ever need. And I think about that. So my goal truly is to spread laughter and memories and joy, like for you to watch or maybe listen to during sad times, or if you're thinking about harming yourself, or you're sad and you need just some sort of pep in your step. Hopefully I can give you that. And I'm going to say this. If you're ever in a dark situation where you think you have no answers and you want to hurt yourself and end it all, you can reach out to me. And I'm not big enough yet to where it's going to be impossible to reach me. So I will stay up with you. I will talk to you. I will do whatever you need. And I mean that, anybody. anyone. If you're a person that I used to hate or used to hate me, and you reach out to me, uh, wanting to talk and needing help, I will do whatever I can for you, and I promise that. Uh, the whole reason I'm doing this is, man, that's so unfortunate. Uh, is because, like I said, I care about people. I want to spread kindness and laughter and positivity and inclusivity. The reason I started streaming was to give people, and I know a lot of people probably think like this or say this, at least on Twitch. A lot of people say it but don't mean it, and I do mean it. But there are people out there, and I'm not calling anybody a liar. There's people out there that definitely mean it. Uh, that like giving people a place to hang out and not feel judged, or a comfortable, safe space, or welcoming. Granted, we do crack jokes in chat, and I do crack a lot of jokes, but I'm not like everyone's laughing together, and I want to make that clear. And I can't control what my chat says, but we monitor that. And that's if you're just coming to the stream. If you're coming to the channel, or like you're watching me do comedy, I'm never gonna do anything to make you feel uncomfortable or sad or belittle you or in any way. I'll never punch down in any way. I'm not an ableist like that. Any sorts of the word. I'm accepting of all people, whatever you like. If you're a furry, if you're an anime nerd, a weeb, fedora guy, I don't know, whatever is interesting or weird. Let's say you're a gym rat. I go to the gym all the time. I'm cool with that. An athlete, whatever. You know, everybody's welcome, except for pedophiles. I hate them. Protect our children at all costs. Politically, I'm going to stop being political. What I want to do with that is the world is getting worse and worse, and politics is becoming more and more like of a thing shoved down our throats. So I want to be able to express joy and happiness for you and give you that without choosing sides or whatever. I stay in the middle. I try to. I try and stay outside of politics, and just like most of our politicians are like just greedy. It's just the way it is. Like, even if you didn't start off greedy, you start making that money and you're like more and more and more. It happens in all lines of work, not just politics. So it's just the way the world is for now. And I know it's sad saying like it is what it is, but it is. And it ain't good. I should have given myself like a list of things to talk about. So, with that being said, my political beliefs are everybody should be taken care of, not necessarily. I think that like basic needs need to be met. I do think humans, above all, we need to help those around us, love each other. I just want all people to be free, anybody to be able to do, love each other, love the ones that they want to love. Yeah. So, Norm Macdonald isn't okay. I'm so all over the place. I apologize. So if I had to pick like 5 comedians that really inspired me, it would be Norm Macdonald, legend. I have a book of his, and my friend gave me, and I have Dave Chappelle. So when we were watching Comedy Central, we discovered him, and then I started watching his stand-up, and that's really what got me into stand-up. Then I started watching stand-up more than movies because, your laughs per minute are a lot higher watching a stand-up special than just like a silly movie. But there's so many classic movies like Grandma's Boy, Billy Madison, Ace Ventura. Those were all movies that I grew up on just loving. But I don't know. I'm down to do anything to make people laugh. Like as far as like acting, sketches, stand-up. Not whipping my penis out on stage because that's not comedy. That's just sad. And it's sexual harassment. Like, what do you have to sign a waiver before you walk into one of those shows? I don't know. Okay, so while I was in the military, so my young years, I always try to make people laugh. I was always funny. I always wanted to do entertaining. Whenever I was younger, we really liked like Viva La Bam. I was into skating, and I always thought that was funny. And I also recorded stop go motion stuff because I really liked Robot Chicken. And I always liked claymation for some reason, like Nightmare Before Christmas and like James and the Giant Peach. I've always been artsy fartsy. I've always loved music. Music makes me feel. There's nothing else that can just make or break your, like change your mood in an instant. Like you hear a sad song that reminds you of something, and instantly those emotions just come up over me. And I not everybody's the same, but for me, like I feel it. I'm like, that really truly reminds me of something. I don't know. I just have a deep connection with art and like emotions, and I try truly to see the beauty in everything and everyone. And I know that there's value in everything and everyone, and I would love to share that with everybody. Everybody's matters. Just remember, this world is a better place with you in it, and we're all on this earth together, flying through space. I don't know if it's actually flying through space, but whatever. Be a whole lot cooler if it was, wouldn't it? We're just on a giant spaceship together. You and me, sweetheart. I think I need Botox. I think I need lip injections. What do you guys think? Just big ass lips. Turn around just one day, big ass lips. I don't know what you're talking about. You're like, you guys, did he have work done? I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways. Okay, high school, whatever. Yeah, and I always try to make people laugh. I wasn't the coolest person. Back then, I wasn't the best at social cues. I don't know. I didn't understand social interactions the best always, or when people were uncomfortable or reading stuff. I was a lot. I was too much, and I know that. I was annoying, and looking back, it's embarrassing, but it's like, I was learning. Okay, we're all learning. I'm a lot more quiet now. Just like I know when to speak and when I'm overdoing it, and I know when to make people laugh. How to read a situation. Back then, I would just try and laugh all the time, and that when somebody doesn't really turn that off, it's definitely annoying. And I know that I was probably obnoxious. Also, I used to talk to a lot of girls all the time, texting girls. I would just think about girls all the time. I could never I don't know. I never had my sights on like one girl, really, and so I was texting like 15 different girls, and then they would all talk, and they all find out that they're all texting me, and I'm like, I don't know. I was just texting everybody. I never did anything with anybody. Severe ADHD. I was all over the place. It's not good. It's not evil. Now, I've loved women. I've loved a few girls. I'm single right now though. Like I said, I've been, reshaping my life and becoming I'm loving myself and taking the best care of myself and making myself a better person to be with somebody. And I think that's what a lot of people should do. You don't want to settle, but you also don't want to be not a catch, because you're like, oh, I could do so much better. It's like, okay, well, what do you have to offer, really, dude? Like, what did I have to offer? Nothing? Hey, you want to watch me play video games really late at night and then sleep all day? No. Pretty sad. So we're doing a lot better in that department. Yeah, so I definitely got teased and but it wasn't like severe bullying. Like, I was still kind of cool. Like, everybody kind of fucked with me for the most part. Everybody that was cool or whatever. And I mean, I got teased. There are certain people that probably hated me, and there were people that teased me pretty bad. But what's funny is their opinions didn't matter as much, because in my world, they weren't in the cool groups that I wanted to be a part of. So it's like, first off, I don't know what I did to upset you so much, but there were legit people that hated me in high school, even though I didn't even really fuck with them at all or talk to them at all. So it was really weird. I just remember there was a group of dudes right before I joined the military.
right before I went off to boot camp, they were at a restaurant and they were like, "Hey, what's up, dude?" And I went over to their table. I was like, "Hey, what's up?" They're like, "How's the Navy going?" Like teasing me. I was like, I haven't left for boot camp. I'm about to leave in like a week or something. And like they're like, "Oh yeah, that's awesome, dude. Cool, cool, cool." And then like as I was walking away, one of them called me the F slur, British cigarette, and I just remember that, and it stuck with me. And I'm like, whatever. Like it hurt my feelings, but at the same time, I still remember it. But and I remember who said it, and I hope you're watching. No, I'm kidding. I don't care. Their opinions like weren't that. I didn't really think that they were like cool, but that doesn't matter. It's just it hurt my feelings, and I remember that, and so I'm sharing that with you. Uh, um. Then I remember this one guy who was like really, he was definitely popular, and he was like kind of mean to people. He was popular for being like the asshole and saying funny stuff, like people that went too far, and he would make fun of a lot of different people. But I remember when I graduated boot camp, he specifically messaged me, and he was like, "I really respect what you did," and that has also stuck with me. I thought that was kind of cool that he reached out and said he respected me. Thanks, Dad. No, I'm kidding. It wasn't my dad. I've never actually talked to my real dad. Oh yeah, I'm adopted. I finally met my sister. That was really cool. She's awesome. We're like best friends. I text her daily. Uh, uh, okay, so when I was in the military, I would also be funny. I was, from command to command to command. My first command, everybody, it was like a big family. Everybody loved me. I loved them. I started drinking, started making up mistakes. Uh, I don't know. Everyone still likes me, but it does feel like I didn't leave on the best terms. Um, I don't know. That was whenever I started to like drink a lot, and that's whenever I think that was kind of what started a lot of my issues. But then and there, people were like, "You should be in the military. You're too funny. You're too creative for this. Like, you're so like artistic and like whatever, like very fast and witty. Like you should be doing something that involves like entertaining people." And I've always wanted to do that, but I don't know. I was too scared. When you're in the military, they really do scare you into staying in because you're like, when I get out, there's like no like, what am I gonna do? Like, what if I can't find a job? It's just they really do that to you. But I finally cut the tie in 2022, and that's when I did started doing stand up and and writing jokes and streaming. And that's why I found out that I like online comedy. But I got free, and it's been the best decision I ever made. Uh, and I love my life now. I'm a lot happier now. But my second command was in Spain. There, I made a lot of lifelong friends, people that I just absolutely love, and even the people that I wronged there or that necessarily don't like me, I still love them. They know who they are. Uh, there, I was a problem. There, 100%, I was a piece of shit. I wasn't doing my job very well. I was just cared about exploring Europe and partying and uh, I got into a bar fight there. I don't even remember the fight. People know this story. It could come out eventually. I just remember it was embarrassing. I got blacked out and got into a fight. I don't even remember what happened, but somebody took care of me that night, and there was all those guys are wonderful, and they all took care of me. I've been forgiven for that by a lot of people. I've actually had heart to hearts about that, and just a lot of great dudes. Um, if you know, you know, because I'm not throwing stuff out there like that, but that happened, and not only did that happen, but I just was drinking so much and just sleeping too much and just not taking care of myself as good as I could there, and I was just lazy, and I really just didn't put forth a lot of effort there, and I apologize for that to anyone who was there in Spain with me. Um, a lot of them still like fuck with me though, and they like reach out to me, and we're seeing how I'm doing now, and it's cool. I do think that everywhere I've gone, I've left some sort of impact. What mostly positive, and even through the negative, people still see positive in me and always have, and
Like especially my best friend Alex has always stuck with me, and people, uh, I think it's because I truly am. I truly try to do good. I care about people and I want to serve others. I just have made mistakes, and we all do, and that's why I truly believe that people can change because I have done it, and see myself as a different person, and I love who I am now, and I want the world to see it, and so that's why I'm doing all of this, and I keep looking down because I'm thinking, and it's this is obviously there's a lot of emotion and stuff in this, whatever, but I've learned to be an emotionally mature person and be able to just air everything out in front. I think there's no point in holding anything inside. One of my dear friends killed himself. Also, he was from Spain. That's where I met him. And just keeping things trapped inside and not talking about it leads to not good things. So after that, I went to my next command, which was the top secret command. I met a lot of great people there. I still love those guys. But that's where I decided to call it quits. I was like, okay, you got the top secret clearance. You did the cool stuff, whatever. You can leave now. And I did. I wanted to pursue other things. I knew that I wanted to start streaming and get into comedy and whatever I could. So here we are. 4 years later. Yeah, it took a little bit. Like I said, deep dark depression, breakup, heartbreak, moving, lots of money debt. I got out of the debt. I can help you with finances now too, because I understand that. But now here we are. Now I'm doing a podcast. Now I'm doing streaming. I'm writing comedy, making videos. I like my life now. And I want to share it with you guys. And I love you guys, truly. I love everybody. I think judging somebody based off their background, race, ethnicity, color of skin, sexual orientation, religion is disgusting. I am cool with people from all walks of life. And everybody has cool, different ways of doing different things. And then you'll learn things from other people. I think that this world can come together if we truly try and understand each other. We just come from a place of understanding and love. Instead of trying to force your way of life on other people, learn things from other people's way of life. And just allow everybody to exist without your agenda. You can just let everybody exist. A big thing that I've learned too is not letting things outside of your control truly affect your mental health and like stress levels. Those things will take care of themselves. You will take care of the things that you need to. You have time. You're fine. And if you're not healthy and you're dying and you don't have time, use that time the best you can. Die on your own terms. Man, this got dark. Okay. That was like the summarized version of me, of my life. Obviously, I'll get into much more depth in further episodes, and I'm going to keep doing episodes like this. I would say I'll probably every other week I'll do a character episode, and then the flip the weeks in those spaces, I'll do stuff like this. Just me and you. Yeah. Why don't we just I'm having ideas as we're doing this right now. I say we, me. We, me. Me, we, you, we. What's up, TikTok cringe? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, so I'm going to go in like chronological order, I guess. So I guess, I don't know. I don't really feel like talking about high school and further back. There's not a lot there other than the fact that I was just a goofy kid. I don't know. I did martial arts. I was a pretty weird little dude. I didn't really do anything extraordinary as a child. Yeah, no, nothing. I wasn't a particularly gifted athlete. I'm athletic. I'm, but I didn't discover that until later, until I was like in the military, which is a little too late to discover you're athletic. Uh, and my severe thought process ADHD problems made me like really bored in sports, and I didn't like watching sports, so I didn't really look up to people and be like, I want to be like Michael Jordan or Tom Brady or anybody. I didn't have that. Sports was kind of boring to me. I like playing them, but like practice was sucked. I hated going to practice. Like baseball practice was the worst. I was an outfielder, and I would sit in the back picking fucking daisies and dandelions and be like, I'm like they're hitting the balls to the outfield, and I'm literally sitting on the ground like catching butterflies and shit. Like people would make fun of that, like in comedy sketches. I was actually doing that shit. I was so uninterested. I don't. The first thing that I really took seriously was like wrestling. My dad forced me to. We were literally. I guess I did that as a kid. We would like go to like meets at like 6 a.m. on like weekends and shit, and I would like actually be like doing weigh-ins and stuff. So I understood nutrition at a young age. I started that at like 8, and then I got into martial arts. So I was more into like those solo sports, solo leveling. I definitely need fake lips. Big ass fake lips. Make me look way better. And like cheek implants. No. Anyways, so yeah, we'll do more episodes like this. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I used to be really skinny. And then I got fat. And now here I am. I look okay. But I'm taking care of myself. And you should too. Stay cynical. I love you. And have a good life.